Off BRT knobs used to turn the Ecam DUs on and off and to control the brightness. Automatic adjustment of brightness for ambient light conditions is superimposed on this manual control. Note: when the pilot turns the upper display knob to off, the engine warning EW display appears on the lower display unit. Automatic transfer. System page push buttons call up the corresponding system pages on the SD. Light up when pushed for manual selection, or when an advisory is detected. Call up to the aircraft system page corresponding to the present flight phase or the current warning when pushed a second time, when only one ECAM display is on. The pilot can display a system page for up to 3 minutes by pushing and holding the system page push button. If an advisory condition arises, the relevant system page is not automatically displayed, but the push button light pulses. If an ECAM warning is triggered, the relevant system page is not automatically displayed, and the system page push button does not light up. RCL push button. The pilot pushes the RCL push button to call out the warning messages, the caution messages, and the status page that may have been suppressed by the activation of the CLR push button or by flight phase-related inhibition. If there are no suppressed warnings or cautions, the WD shows normal for 5 seconds. If the pilot holds this push button down for more than 3 seconds, the WD displays any caution messages that were suppressed by the EMA-CAN push button. STS status push button. The pilot pushes this push button to display the status page on the lower SD. The push button remains lit as long as the SD displays the STS page. If the system has no status messages, the status page displays normal for 5 seconds. The pilot can clear the status page by pushing the CLR push button, or by pushing the STS push button a second time. When only one ECAM display is on, it displays the status page only when the pilot pushes the status push button and holds it. He can display the next status page, if any, by releasing the push button and pushing it again before 2 seconds have elapsed. The new page then appears after a short delay. The pilot can keep to the STS push button pressed to display the status page for a maximum of 3 minutes, after which the ECAM automatically displays the engine warning page. CLR push button. This push button remains lit as long as the EWD is displaying a warning or caution message, or a status message on the SD. If it is lit, pressing it changes the ECAM display. All push button. When this push button is pressed and held down, the SD successively displays all the system pages at 1 second intervals. If the ECAM control panel fails, the pilot can use this push button to page through the system pages until he comes to the one he wants to look at. He then releases the push button to select that page. EMA-CAN-CPB. This push button affects the following warnings: cancel, stop, an oral warning for as long as the failure condition continues, extinguishes the master warnings lights, does not affect the ECAM message display, cautions, cancel any present caution, single chime, master caution lights, ECAM message for the rest of the flight. Automatically calls up the status page, which displays cancelled caution and the title of the failure that is inhibited. The inhibition is automatically suppressed when flight phase 1 is initiated. The pilot may restore it manually by pressing the recall push button for more than 3 seconds. Note: this push button should only be used to suppress spurious master cautions. TO-config PB. This push button simulates the application of takeoff power. This is a test that triggers a warning if the aircraft is not in takeoff configuration. If the configuration is correct, The EWD displays the to config normal message in the T0 memo section. Note, if the Ecam control panel fails, the CLR, RCL, STS, EMA CANC, and all push buttons remain operative, because their contacts are directly wired to the flight warning and display management computers.